Well, that's what I get for trying to do an experiment. Hopefully you guys can hear me this time. What the fuck? Okay. And the sun is coming for me. Oh. Oh my gosh. Well, no, I'm in the shade and you guys aren't. Spectacular. Ooh. There. That might be the best of both worlds. Still on my own. The punishment continues. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank goodness there's a nice breeze today. I would be sitting here melting without it. Absolutely melting. What up, somebody? Happy Wednesday. This thing is going back in the bag. Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, it's really good for making the videos. Oh, and the poor puppy is still out in the yard. Yeah. But so, no, I don't feel any compunction in making fun of Gonzalo Lira because he's dead. I actually find the whole thing kind of morbidly amusing. I have a black sense of humor, I guess. You want to talk about somebody who had a fatal flaw that got them in the end? I mean, man, that guy. It's a cautionary tale for the ages, I'm telling you. And that's what Friday's video is going to be. We're going to go deeper into all of that. Some of the amazing things that people had to say about him. And I'm so happy I have part of that done already, because that means that after I get off here at 2 o'clock, I have some hope of doing something else for a little while, which is probably going to be laundry. But, you know, laundry is an equal opportunity offender. Laundry is not sexist. Not really. Oh, you guys. That caterpillar ever find his way home? Yeah, looks like it. That was fun. I got the new rocks. I got a bunch of moonstone the other day. This one's prettier. It's hard to see the glint in it. You know. You just have to take my word for it. I got some pretty moonstone bits the other day. Actually, this one was my favorite. I don't know if you can see. It's like really dark, but it has a little bit of opalescence just there in the middle, so it looks really dramatic, you know. Is the audio working now? I don't know. You tell me. Can you hear me? Or is that a statement? Because that would be great. If so. I mean, I just did what I normally do. Flash your necklace again. I did. Oh. It's a piece of moonstone. It's mostly dark, but it has just one little piece of opalescence like in the middle. It's working. Good. We're so back. All right, sweet. I'm sorry, you guys. Serves me right for trying to do an experiment, apparently. Yeah. I just wound some silver around it because, like, those cages are nice and everything. You know, the little, like, spiral cages you can get for stones. Those are nice. For something like this, you know, that's more, like, 3-dimensional. This is a super nice, flat little chip. So, it's kind of wound it up. Something to do with my hands. I tell you what, if I ever get, like, terrible arthritis so I can't use my hands anymore, I'm going to go crazy. Like, truly. Sometimes I get squirrely and I just need to fiddle with something. Mm. You like Labradorite? Yeah, same, same. I have a lot of big chunks of that. I haven't showed you this. This is my favorite big piece of Labradorite that I have out here. And then I have a bunch of, and one of my moonstones got lost back in there. See? That one's got a pretty edge on it. I wonder if you can see that a little bit. But anyway, and this is gonna sound funny, but Labradorite just isn't hitting me right lately for whatever reason. And I have this moonstone that I've worn off and on for years that I really like, and I kind of think of it as my lucky ring because it feels like things just go better whenever I wear it for a while. And I thought to myself, maybe I ought to just go get some more moonstone, And it does. It feels nice to wear. I know that sounds silly, but yeah. Like, I'm not embarrassed about it, and I'm also not embarrassed about sounding silly. I'm not going to sit here and have, like, pump myself up that it doesn't sound silly. I think that's where we run into mistakes, where we run into error, when we take ourselves too seriously, Your mileage may vary, I can only tell you that's what my experience has been lately. It's a nice calming stone to me. I don't know. And even if it is all, unconscious placebo shit, who cares? Who cares? I don't care. I decided that years ago. If the only magic I'm working is magic of my own subconscious, then who cares? Does that matter? It doesn't matter. I decided that doesn't matter to me. Like, it's effective for me, and that's all that really matters. And for whatever reason, this stone it does. It helps put me in like a calmer, more focused state of mind. Like, not like magic spell, like not like that, But it makes it easier for me to center myself. I don't know. There's my woo for the day. Yeah, that's legit what matters. Yeah, right. Is it effective? And shocking, like, I've discovered that when I could just get the fuck over myself, it does. But as I say, your mileage may vary. I think everybody has different things that work for them. And I've definitely met more than my fair share of people who, like, wear a saint or something because they say it helps them feel better or whatever. And it's like, okay, you can wear a hunk of gold with somebody's face on it and that helps you. Okay, fine. Why can't I have a rock? I just don't see. And it's about that for me. It was about that, just stopping second guessing myself. On the other hand, consequently, the last couple of years of my life have gotten sort of weird in a way that I don't really talk about much because, well, that's not what this channel's for. Like, and interestingly, it hasn't changed my politics one bit. Not one bit. So, take that for what you will, I suppose. Ooh, I can't believe I have to sit out here and melt for another hour. I hope they get the fuck off the front porch, honestly. He is sitting out there just talking the ear off the window salesman. So, like, who knows if there are magical properties, but if it makes you feel better, that is fine. I did a lot of Wiccan stuff when I was younger, and it feels cringy, but I do like the shiny rocks. Right. And, part of it is if it feels cringy to you, then maybe whatever that is not for you. That's fine. Or, as I say, it might just be you reflexively second-guessing yourself. That's what a lot of it turned out to be for me. Or, yeah, a lot of the a lot of religious stuff, a lot of ceremony, a lot of any of that shit is just like, yeah, I don't know. No, 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 no. You know. On the other hand, when you're just kind of sitting outside and all of a sudden realize you've come down from some trance meditation you didn't mean to do, that's different, right? That's not like somebody telling me about some pretentious shit. That's like, whoa, okay, what? Now we get to make sense of that. Fun. Okay, And like, how hard does the cringe have to get before you go? Maybe I'm just having a good time, Maybe, and you should. It's like, what is it? I heard recently: to be cringe is to be free, you know. So it's something like that. And at the same time, I feel like it does. It lends like a level of security to it, where I'm not looking for anybody else to back this stuff up for me. I'm not looking for anyone to agree with me. Quite frankly, I'm not looking to talk about it really, like in enough detail that anyone could agree or disagree with me on anything, like, you guys, I hate YouTube Arab coding. Multi-billion-dollar company, obviously hiring the cheapest offshore coders. Oh no. I mean, like, no disagreement there. No disagreement there, but what happened? That's so funny. You sound just like my sister. Complete with the ye gods and everything. You sound just like my sister. I don't know. And if I did want to put out an actual opinion out there as far as spirituality is concerned, I think that that cringe is what stops you from from exploring your own. You know what I mean? That cringe, that impulse to judge yourself. I think that's a gremlin, that we all have. R.I.P. Susan. Why? What happened? What? What happened? Who's Susan? What happened to her? What? Yeah, you get that. Yeah. Um, and again, it's also like, it's like coding though, or math. It's not something that everyone is inclined towards, which is also fine. The former CEO of YouTube passed away. Oh, yikes! What up, kitty cat? Apparently, the former CEO of YouTube just passed away, and I was sitting here rambling about spiritual stuff because I don't know, I'm tired. We were talking about pretty rocks. And that's not a rock. There it is. Because I got some moonstone, which for whatever reason helps me feel calmer, which I know sounds like gobbledygook, but it works for me, so whatever. I've met plenty of people who wear like medallions of saints and whatever, and they say that it helps them. So you bought more crystals yesterday, right on. What did you get? And I was just saying, like, the one opinion I don't really put it in the channel because it's not related, and none of this has changed my political stance at all. I'm half dead. Terrible nights. Will complain later. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Whenever you're ready, I'll be here for an hour today, and then we'll be back Friday. So. I hope you feel better. You want to go get some rest? I won't be insulted. I do love the pretty rocks, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, right. No, and that was the other thing I came to at one point, because I feel like this urge to do this, to play with the crystals, basically. And I was judging myself very harshly for this. Like, oh my God, that's so cringe. Oh my God, that's so lame. That's so, so woo. It's so, And then, yeah, at one point I came to that. I'm like, but I'm not hurting anybody. Like, so why can't I have my rock? Like, if it makes me happy, like, who cares? Like, what's the big deal? I was the one making the big deal about it, and judging myself. And you know, I've definitely also met some people who are a little too worried about whether or not they're cringe. Nah, nothing wrong with it. Yeah, right. Forest epidote specimen from Turkey and pink agate sphere. Ooh, with blue and purple pockets of druzy. Wow. I don't know what forest epidote is, but that other thing sounds gorgeous. Is it green? Sounds like it might be green. Who doesn't love a nice green stone, right? This is a lump of carnelian, is what I have been told. I got it from my dad, but that's what he always said, is that is a lump of carnelian. And it's, easily one of the biggest rock spheres I've ever seen, and I don't even want to think about how much he probably paid for it. Because this is solid, this is solid rock. Nothing light about that. Ooh, it is. It's a deep, dark green crystal only found in Turkey. Cool. Let's get up a picture of that. Oh, hang on. The sun's coming for me again. Having the same problem I had earlier. I can't type today. Excuse me. Forest. Yep. Ooh. Come on. Show me pictures. Nothing wants to cooperate with me today, I swear. Ooh. It looks like moss. Oh, how cool. Oh. Look at that. It looks like moss. It's all green and looks like moss. Oh, that's awesome. This hunk right here is selling for $850, but it's like the size of my torso. So. There we go. Look how gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Nice. Somebody stopped by the video to wish me a happy Wednesday. Oh, thank you. Not got any real comments on that one yet. Oh boy. Whatever. I got one dude. One red pillar was already mad at me before the damn thing was live. Like he reposted my video an hour before it was up. What's this? I guess this feminist coward feels more comfortable criticizing the dead instead of speaking for the living. I don't see why those two things are mutually exclusive, first of all. And I commented he deserves everybody criticism he gets, because I do believe that he does. The dude was a piece of work and brought his fate upon himself. Means I'm on the right track. Exactly. I was kind of hoping, for a bite there, honestly. How funny would that be to have a bunch of red pillars come over here and try and come at me? That'd be so funny. Whatever, I'm not done. I keep wanting to call him Lorenzo. He looks like a Lorenzo to me, and I didn't realize Gonzalo was a name. I've never heard the name Gonzalo before. Anyway. Mr. Gonzalo, I'm not done with him. We're going to go into his backstory and what happened to him on Friday. He must have rung the bell for your channel. Right? That was actually like, no, I figure he must have an alert for Gonzalo Lira. because I did obviously tag the dude. He's a star of the video, right? Triggered red pillars men are fun. Right. Rest in peace, Coach Red Pill. Right. His own. Right. He brought that on himself, and I think the video we watched today explains how. That attitude right there about how, we just have to strive for some fantasy as a man. We just have to, where it lets him off the hook as a man from considering his goals or his approach to them until it's too fucking late. But at the same time, being a man means that you're destined for greatness because you have ambition, whereas women just want feelings. It's like, oh my God.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Hi. Sorry. That man is great. Is he? Yeah. Not anymore, though. He died back in January. That's what I'm saying. He brought that fate upon himself. 100%. Was crazy. Yeah, right? Like I said, he literally said women are like dogs. Oh, you have to. I will. Oh. That's what I'm going to spend the next couple of days doing is collecting clips for Friday's video of him and what various people had to say about him. Because, like, I found at least one person coming pretty hard for him. He was not a journalist. No. Which, like, okay, that's the guy who accused him of being a spy for the Russians, which I did not see any substantiation of in that video where he made that accusation, but still. Why would anybody even have that idea? That's a strange thing to say about anybody. And then, there was another guy who I thought was very interesting, who was actually, like, on personal terms with him. So, he's a red pillar, and he's very sad about what happened. But he also has some insider information that I think is very elucidating. So, yeah, that's all going to be for Friday. And, yeah, maybe we'll throw in a clip about him calling women dogs, if that is really good. Just so we get a nice sense of who he is, I mean, and like everyone's a Russian spy these days, it seems. Yeah, no, but he was literally living in Ukraine, railing against the Ukrainian government. So, I don't mean that in a superlative way. I mean, like, he was actually on the side of the Russians in the conflict over there, personally. Like, he was supporting them, so. Whether or not that makes him a spy, I can't say, obviously. Maybe a bad spy, because if everybody knows that you're, in it for the Russians, you're probably not going to be a very good Russian spy, right? Like, that's not probably a point against that idea, frankly, that he was making such a nuisance of himself like that. But, like, did not, he could have left, okay? As an American in a foreign prison, like, they come and visit you, and you can ask for asylum and go home. And he didn't want to go home. He didn't want to come back to the States. So, well, actually, that's a plus. Ukrainian is full of neo-Nazis, literal Nazis. That's what he was saying. And, I mean, like, that would be way too little, way too late, right? To be right about the one thing there at the end, I mean, ew. I actually have no idea. I know that is, I found a press release from the Russian government saying what you just said. Which tends to make me not believe that because the Russian government said it. Like, that's my level of trust there. Okay. If the Russian government is saying a thing, there's a good chance the opposite is actually true. Russia is right. Okay. I would have to see. I mean, I have no evidence either way. I don't know either way because I have not. I've just been sort of sitting over in my little corner praying it doesn't turn into World War III because the rest of us have stuff to do. Like, and I'm just not a good war correspondent, or like they wear the Nazi symbol on their army uniforms. Oh. That should be pretty easy to check out, right? Like, I don't know. I kind of feel like I want to dig into this like on my own time, when I'm not on live camera, but oh, Coach Redpill helped a lot of men. His perspective and delivery of information was very unique. He would be happy to know that he's pissing off feminazis from the grave. May he rest in peace. Oh, their hate just makes me so happy. Oh. I kicked the right hornet's nest. That makes me so happy. Because I was thinking about that. If you're going to go, after a group of people, essentially, and criticize their beliefs and whatever, I mean, maybe let it be a group of people that if they come at you, it genuinely feels like winning. It is, if you know where to look. Look up the Aztov Battalion. Okay. Why? Wow. The Wikipedia has all these legal disclaimers about being banned in Germany and whatever. Oh my god. Why? Is a combination of Nazi-era symbols like the reverse symbol of Himmler's Schutzstaffel and the special military unit and the Black Sun. Why? That's good. So, CRP's wife must have been long suffering. Yeah. And I've seen, again, this is unsubstantiated for me because what am I going to go do? Go check Ukrainian marriage records? But that she was his ex-wife. So the Gray Zone reports a lot on it. Ukraine has been in the shits ever since the West initiated a coup of their democratically elected leader back in 2014 and installed a puppet for. Oh, great. be a lot harder to believe if it weren't a familiar story. Right. Oh my God. No, and I just like even this talking about myths. The symbol of the Azov Brigade has neo-Nazi implications. That even this thing that's calling that a myth says that it's always had a single meaning: national idea. These two words abbreviate the combination letters N and I depicted on the emblem of the unit. The national idea for the Azov fighters implies a militant devotion to the Ukrainian people. So, nationalism. Which is the problem with those symbols in the first place, y'all. Missing the point there. Good job. What the fuck? They were used for, militaristic nationalism. That was the problem with the swastika. It's not the symbol itself. So, even their smoothing over of that is still disquieting. Hooray. So what do we make of that? I mean, if this guy went over there and fucked around and found out with a bunch of Nazis, does that still not make him an asshole? Legitimately asking, because I want to have as accurate a picture of this as possible. Oh, and some clouds rolled in, so we got some relief there. We got 45 minutes left of this, so this is some of the most fun for me, where we workshop the videos together, because then I feel like I'm putting something out that, I'm not just shouting into the void. Russia attacked and invaded because since 2014, Ukrainian military was bombing the region. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and assume that doesn't say dumbass. Donbass, since it was full ethnic Russians and building up NATO bases. I mean, I'm just like, as much as I want to, like, I have wanted to, like, culturally, artistically, linguistically, Russia is a fascinating nation. Okay. And I've had a soft spot I'm a foreign political nerd, trust me. Okay. You know more about it than I do. I just unfortunately read too much Russian history to trust anything that's what I'm basing that on. I'm not basing that on, like, just, Putin. No. To my mind, Putin is just the most recent in a long line of corrupt leaders going all the way back in Russia. Like, they've never had a real, and it's so obvious that they've never had a real government, like, ever, never. No, I don't think ever for a minute. As in a political organization that serves its people in any way. Like, no. And so while I'm disinclined to trust the word of governments in general, I'm definitely disinclined to trust the word of Russia's government, because I feel like I've known them too long. I don't know. I'm not a Russian cheerleader, but the West is out for Russia because it wants global hegemony. Yeah. I mean, and that's the trouble there, is, like, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you, right? No, but so, I mean, if Ukraine's government is also corrupt as hell, that would not shock me. But so, again, just like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, that leaves me sitting here watching two assholes fight each other to the death. I'm supposed to feel a way about that? I'm supposed to get involved in that emotionally? Why? I mean, aside from the fact that it might come over here, aside from the fact that it might get out of their, spread, that it might spread. Otherwise, I'm not extremely emotionally invested in watching two assholes duke it out. And frankly, I feel the same way about the United States. Like, our government's not better. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and uh, say that it's any better. And I also probably just put some people straight off talking to me because, like, I legitimately don't get war. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And people just want to sit here and explain, the reasons behind this particular conflict as if that's going to answer the question. Like, no, I don't. It just brings up half a dozen more. But why though? Why did they do that? And then why did they do that? And then what? I don't. And considering what our nation does to every country in the world, those of us need to worry about cleaning house before we go looking outwardly. Just look at what's happening in Congo. Yeah, I don't even know about that one. Is it similar? I'm glad you admitted to being foreign politics nerd because I'm so not. I don't dislike it or anything, but I'm afraid I'm not going to have a whole lot to add. I hadn't even heard about the Congo. That's great. That's great. That's almost one on every continent, right? Resources. War is always about stealing resources. Okay. So it's theft. And all the rest of that shit is just grandstanding, is what you're saying? Hmm. Hmm. Follow the money. Goddamn. It does still sort of lead me back to the question of why, though? Like, why? Ah. Whatever. We're the richest country in the world. That just makes us the most miserly country in the world, right? Richest is like another way of saying most greedy. Okay, but so really though, this Gonzalo Lira guy, even if he was right about the Ukrainian government, that doesn't make him not an asshole, does it? We are working with Rwanda to enforce death squads to go in, terrorize the populace, steal their cobalt for our computers and phones. And Apple supplies the Rwanda death squads with the money. Nice. That sounds very familiar, actually. I think I was saying this one. I think I was rambling about this last week. That's the British Empire. That's the same shit. That's exactly, he flew right into the sun. Right, yeah. Icarus. I like it. I like it. No, and so I'm just connecting dots, but it seems like the latest dot in the same line that I was drawing back in the Green Sahara video. And somebody left me a critical comment underneath that I need to go back and read. Because it starts out, I think it's funny to connect the end of the Green Sahara with the beginning of patriarchy because da 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 da, and I didn't get around to reading it. It's familiar because it's been going on since forever. Africa is poor. It's been looted. Yeah, right. No, but I mean on an industrial scale like that. That's colonialism. That's straight up the same shit. Okay. But so it's like from since the beginning of civilization, these same ideas. They've sort of, shifted their like geographic home. But it's the same. It ends up the same way. It's always been about resources. Ay, ay, ay. No, I guess, and if I had to talk about these ideas that I'm referring to, one of them, I guess, would have to be that you have any privilege or right to steal other people's fucking resources in the first place. Same shit, different era. Right. But so, this begs the question to me is why the fuck are those people in charge of anything? Why the fuck are people who are gonna run things like that in charge of anything? How the fuck did that happen? And is that maybe not bad? Why is it the same shit, different era? Why is it the same shit? Is there maybe a weak link in this chain that we could break? That ends up being my question. Why do we put people in charge who want to steal from people? And if it's something about I've said this before, if it's something about the psyche of people who end up in those positions, then I don't know, maybe we should check that. Maybe wanting authority is a big red flag. You shouldn't be given any. Not even just authority, but like power. Wanting power, I think, is a bad sign. I'll tilt this down a little bit. I feel like you just kind of see I'm like a bobbing head. Because we let them. Most people don't know or care to know because of the small crumbs they, our leaders, give us. Right, but so I just wonder. I mean, you'd need some kind of dynamic cultural shift there. And, like, that would feel hopeless. If we hadn't already lived through, like, 5 of them. But so, I guess the sympathetic line for this guy, Gonzalo, is pretty obvious. No cobalt. No new updated cell phones every year. We have to have those, am I right? Right, yeah. Yeah. Growth, right? Oh. I mean, that's the thing. For one of them, anyway, is they would be stealing these resources to fuel unsustainable growth. Some places don't have free speech, and that's where he messed up. You mean we? Oh. Lorenzo. I keep wanting to call him Lorenzo. Gonzalo. Yeah. Right. And I saw one video I want to watch that I have in my queue. The headline is about him is Americans are different, or Americans are built different, or something like that. And I'm like, yeah. I think there's a lot of that going on here. I think there's a lot of Americanitis going on with that guy. Infinite growth. We need growth forever, right? Why? Don't know, but we need it because wealth generation. Okay. Because if you don't have ridiculous outsized growth, then you can't generate these piles of wealth. And be greedy. And the standards are so skewed, right? Because I'm sitting here talking to you guys. None of y'all are here. Y'all are all in different places around the world and whatever, around the country, around the world, drinking, fresh water. I managed to get some decent shoes, which those are underrated, I'm telling you what. But on the majority, the masses aren't the ones to benefit from this wealth. That's what I'm saying. But like, to a certain extent, a rising, like around here, I don't know. I was just sitting here thinking about those poor people in the Congo and how I feel all of a sudden embarrassed at my own like pathos about how hard things are sometimes. As an American, CRV sounded very American. Yeah, right. Exactly. It even struck me that way. I'm like, wow. This must be what people are talking about when they say, oi, Americans, right? Mm. I'm an American. That's why I'm saying this. Right. I know. I'm saying it struck me exactly that way. Of like, wow, I see what they're saying now. All of a sudden, I'm like sitting in the sun now. Okay, hang on. Ooh. Now you guys are in the sun. Okay. Maybe something like that. Oh, just having things like clean water for everybody shouldn't be luxury for some, and it doesn't have to be, yet it is. Right. Now you're going the right way with that. You just had said that right. I think I was like halfway through that thought cycle, Where I was just sitting here saying, wow, we have to be grateful for what we do have, and at the same time, you shouldn't let that stop you from questioning that, right? I hate that. Oh, I got mine. Fuck you. I hate that. Yeah, right. And just obviously, a higher standard of living for the masses is not the goal. That's not the goal. Because if it were, we have the technology to achieve at least some of that now. And it's like they're not even trying. Because apparently they'd rather send in death squads. Oh my god. Ah. That's not me. Thanks. Oh boy. And then think about the Ukrainian Guard. We're not Nazis. We're just nationalists. What? That was the problem with the Nazis. Y'all remember that? What the fuck? Oh, that's kind of terrifying. I'm gonna have have to ask my husband about that. He's pretty hardcore on the side of Ukraine, I think, in that whole thing. I've just kind of been staying out of it, like I say. I hate that too. Trust me, knowing what I do about foreign affairs have made me a bitter, cynical broad. Oh, I'm sorry. I have other stuff to feel bitter and cynical about. That's really my thing. It's not that I don't think this stuff is important. And I guess that's where I was starting to feel a little prima donna-y, because I do have a tendency to be like, oh my God, not this, not this, not this. Oh God, oh God. Because on the one hand, like, it is important. But on the other hand, my knowing about it is not going to fucking solve anything. My tormenting myself with this knowledge, with this information, is not going to fucking solve anything. And I've noticed in the past that it just kind of gives me crippling depression, and thereby stops me doing much of anything to help anybody. Ever. I think we can all agree that war sucks. Fuck yeah, it does. Fuck yeah, it does. And it's really like unseemly to me, and like sort of disgusting how so many people, both pro and con, okay, seem to just sort of flock like, oh, debate time. Oh, it's, showtime, basically. And oh, apparently it's a great revenue generator. And I just, well, if you're ever interested in it, go to the Gray Zone's YouTube channel. Yep. Okay. Like I say, it's not that I'm not interested. I'm horrified consistently by that stuff. So, like, my lack of knowledge about it does not indicate that I don't take it seriously. Quite the contrary. I used to try and stay up on world events especially in my 20s, That was during the Iraq War, and right after September 11th and all that stuff. And so I was, a young person coming up in the world. I felt it was, part of my duty as a person alive to educate myself about what the fuck was going on in the world. What you do is create an anti-war movement alongside feminist politics. Yeah. Is it? This might sound like a cop-out, but I think feminist politics are anti-war. I think they definitely are. I guess I could go harder in that direction. I just, beating the anti-war drum feels weird. I don't know. I spent way too much time, again, in my 20s in, like, the hippie space. And I've noticed that a lot of those, like a lot of anti-war people are quite militaristic. It's very strange. It should be embedded in feminist politics. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. And of course, anything that's coming out of me is going to be anti-war. Anything, because I just, what the fuck possible justification, good justification, actual justification can there possibly be for something like that? I've never heard one. For aggression, anyway. Defense is different. But again, maybe I just... One country attacks another, it's like, wow, war is unjustified. Yeah. One country attacks another, it's like the rest of the world just kind of goes, wow, that sucks. I hope they're okay. I'm not saying everybody needs to join in, but like, why is that we act like it's a normal thing because that's how it's always been done? Maybe? I don't know. When did the United States ever really had to defend itself? No, not us specifically. But for some reason, my mind, I'm trying to find a justification for this shit, and my mind immediately went to the Holocaust, okay? Fighting against a group of people doing shit like that. It's hard to argue with that. The sentence is a whole mess. Figure it out. Right? Yeah. I think I got there. Fighting against the people doing the Holocaust is very easy to, but it's literally the only, and that's not why we got into it anyway, is it? That's not why that started. They say that even though it's their own government that's usually funding it. Oh, right. Holocaust? Yeah. No, I was specifically thinking of World War II, though. That's the one that always seems to get brought up. Maybe that's my, bias talking. But, that's why everybody loves World War II, is because it feels so justified. You're fighting some real, honest to goodness baddies there, But, like, not everybody knew that at the time. And it's really like on the side of the aggressors. Like, what's up with the nationalism? What's up with the taking over the world? What's up with the racism? Like, maybe not do that. Maybe don't do any of that. Maybe so I just don't understand how those people got to be that in the position to do those things in the first place. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. On the other hand, I'm a contrarian. If somebody comes along and just randomly starts telling me how it is and what I ought to do, my immediate gut reaction is to go, fuck you. So, who the fuck are you telling me? Who the fuck says? So, strongman ideologues are just not my thing at all. They are that to the utmost, right? A guy who wants to stand on the opposite side of a TV screen and tell me what I should do. Saying, oh, that sucks. Hope they're okay. As their own government sends billions of weapons paid for by taxes of the people they installed, public leaders just said, right. And then we adopted a bunch of Nazi scientists. Right. I'm scraping the barrel here. I'm trying to come up with a legitimate reason for armed conflict, And like basically literally fighting evil is the only thing I can come up with. Okay. So, like, it's not like there's clear-cut goodies and baddies. But, like, it's pretty easy to say that, concentration camps are bad. And then, of course, obviously the United States was interning Japanese people, but, like, as far, not to, like, justify that or anything, but I believe those people all got to go home afterwards. Right? I have zero respect for what I'm supposed to see as authority. Right? Yeah. Just because you claim it? What? What is it? No. But like I say, that's such a big red flag to me. Somebody who comes along and just claims authority with no, just because they say so, that's such a big red flag for me. Like, oh, okay, just say, found the asshole, right? Oh, there is, but it gets muddled by our government to conceal our war crimes. Right. Like I say, my honest opinion is something along the lines of the United States being the heirs to, like, all of the worst, nastiest colonialist ideals of the past. So, fighting evil with evil has never been a good strategy historically. No, true. But that's, like, literally the only thing I can think. If you have a group of people who are going to invade you and, like, ethnically cleanse you, then yeah, you should probably fight them. But that's literally it. Because no matter who wins, you're still left with evil. Yeah. But it's crystal clear who is in the right or in the wrong. Just need to know the facts. Yeah, right. You fight fire with fire, you get a bigger fire. Right? Yeah. That's never made any sense to me. An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. Right? Never made any sense to me. And then I feel like the fear mongers are, going to come along and say, okay, so we should just let the despots run roughshod all over all of us? Is that what you're saying? No. I think there's got to be a better way. Defense is not evil. War of aggression is. Right. I guess I'm just, I hate to say something definitive because then I, like, my authority problem, I guess. I immediately have to come up with an exception to what I just said. Like, I have to start poking holes in it. And I've talked to some hawks in my day, and tried to have this conversation with them. It doesn't go very far, because they're always very convinced of their rightness, right? Personally, I think they just think war is cool for whatever reason. I bet not. Yeah, no. Cat, but the United States has never had to defend itself. If we actually cared about the oppression of other people, the Tibetans would be free. Oh my God. Amongst a long list of others, right? Oh boy. No, I think in that way, there are like two kinds of people in the world. People who think war is cool and people who don't. If you think war is cool and exciting, then I'm not on the side of the states. Right. I don't know. I don't necessarily feel the need to side with my own government, I really see it more along the lines of oligarchs versus the rest of us. Most of the world did not make sense to me until I studied psychopathy and narcissism. Now it makes complete sense. Right. And that's what I'm saying. The guy who walks in the room and says, okay, I'm in charge. Everybody calm down, is the last guy who should be put in charge. Fuck you, dude. Sit down. We were talking. You know what I mean? Like, no. I hate that shit. And I think a mistake I've made in my time on this earth is allowing stuff like that to happen around me, and I should probably never do that again. At this point in my life, I think it would be a lot harder for me to just be like, oh, okay, assholes here, gonna let that play out. I think it's been a while since I've been in, a lot of social situations that were not very well structured, but conventions are ripe for that sort of thing, right? Every little group at the convention seems to have their figurehead who they follow around, or is that my imagination? It's been a while. Like I say, it's been a while since I've been to any cons, but right. Always be skeptical of guys wanting to have consistent pissing contests. Yeah. Oh. Or contests at all. Like, this is not a game, dude. Chill out. You don't have to win life. Although, and this is something that occurred to me a while back, and I'm not really sure what to do with it because I don't have any way to test it out. I really don't play video games. I've never really been a big video game person. It's not because I hate them or anything. I just don't get what they're for. I don't feel like there's just never a point in my day when I sit down, I think to myself, you know what I could go for right now? A good video game. Like, it just never, I don't know. I didn't have them growing up, and I've just never acclimated to them, really. But I think that people who play, like, the immersive world kind of games where you have to, like, go and seek out clues in the environment, I think that affects the way you think. Okay? Because those environments are set up to be explored and set up to have clues, that you can find in them. Whereas, like, the real world is just not that way. I've seen people try and kind of solve mysteries in the real world as if they were playing a video game in that way. And it's like, just because you found a thing laying around and it looks kind of related doesn't mean it's actually relevant to anything. That's not how the real world works. I used to fight them and I would win. But then I realized it just wasn't worth the fight unless protecting to warning other people. Oh, yeah. The psychos, yeah. Sorry, that's a bit pejorative, but I guess and if I found myself in that situation again, I think I would at least have to speak up. Not like I would lead the charge or anything, but I would at least have to put that voice out there so that there's somebody, a dissenting voice in the room, you know. Although I appreciate the exuberance I had in my youth, I've really come to appreciate the wisdom I've gained in old age. It's way more peaceful here. Yeah. Yeah. And there's another thing that we should be grateful for, right? You want to talk about war. How many people who died at 20 would happily trade places with somebody who's sad they're getting old? Right? I just can't. So congratulations, because not everybody gets there, do they? The CIA funds games like Call of Duty to propagate the idea for those who join the army. So, yeah. Yeah. And to be in Tennessee, there's a lot of military recruitment goes on around here, and I have made my views known to the kids. Why you want to go sign up to be part of a meat grinder? It helps. Their granddad was a military guy for 25 years, and they let him go 6 months early so they didn't have to pay him his full pension. So I can literally just point to that and be like, the government, the military screwed over your granddad. Why y'all want to go join that? Somebody in your chat must have me blocked because I'm not seeing what you're responding to. Oh, weird. Kitty, did you block Joe? That would be weird. Why would you do that? But yeah, and I don't know that it's like a nefarious trick on anybody's part. I can't even, like I say, this is just sort of an idea that occurred to me because I've noticed adults interacting with the real world essentially as if it were a video game. Which troubles me, We should teach our children to trust the government by being proud of them for doing so. We should not teach our children to trust the government by being proud of them for doing so. Right. Yeah, okay. I was going there for a second. Government used army recruits for experimental data using various drugs. MK Ultra was an actual thing. Hell yeah, it was. That's not up for debate, is it? Hope not. No, and see, I'm actually this guy, Lorenzo. I called him Lorenzo again. Gonzalo Lira is his name. I keep wanting to call him like Lorenzo Gira or something like. I don't know. And his last name is an anagram of liar, so that's fun. And I don't want to compliment Gonzalo, but he reminds me just a little bit of Kaczynski. Just a little bit. In that he was right about something, apparently. So, like, all kinds of, certain conspiracy-minded people are flocking to that, Because, yeah, we want to talk about MK Ultra. Apparently, good old Ted was swept up in that at one point, and he blamed, a lot of his issues on that. Talking about MK Ultra, that's the person you can't see. Yeah. That's Kitty Cat. I don't know why I didn't block. If she goes to the top of where it says live chat, you can change settings from top comments to all comments. Yeah, that might be it. That might be it. Because, like, that is super. I have to do that. Why wouldn't live chat be. Okay. Well, it's just the three of you in here right now. You, Kitty Cat, and Philological. So. um. Yeah, but anyway, so apparently Ted Kaczynski was telling people that about, the CIA experimenting on people back in the day. And of course, nobody believed him. So. Whoops. Not that that makes him right about anything else necessarily. Right? That's like. So you have these crackpots who aren't 100% wrong. Maybe it's only showing part of your message. It's weird. That is weird. Oh, damn. Is there a mysterious fourth person? A ghost, maybe? I don't know. The number, it says there are 5 people watching me right now. Not everybody participates in the chat, which is fine. When I start talking of war, YouTube shadowed me. Imagine that. Oh, yeah, that's possible. Oh. We've touched on a couple of touchy subjects. I know he doesn't like people talking about Ukraine on here. So next week's video is going to be extra fun. Unabomber was brilliant and knew exactly what was going on. Unfortunately, his schizophrenia did not give him a better way to express that knowledge. Yeah. You're here just cleaning stuff? Okay, cool. Yeah. Schizophrenia. And he blamed his schizophrenia on the MK Ultra. Which, possible? Don't know. I don't know that there's any way anyone to ever know that definitively. More valid than me. I'm just too low on brain energy to contribute. Plus, Facebook Reels has started showing me Romanian cat videos, so obviously I have to subscribe to literally all the channels. Oh, no! Tell Jo she's 100% correct on the Unabomber. Nice. Oh. Don't fall down the Reels pot. The Reels hole. Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't know. See, and I watch people my own age, and older even, sit there and just like, it's creepy. Yeah, it's hiding any messages. It doesn't want people to read that is fed up with YouTube. Yeah, Uncle Ted knew quite a bit, but he was crazy as fuck. Right, yeah. So I saw that, Cat. I think they just had hit a few of your messages. Yeah. I think I saw them all. I hope I saw them all. Anyway, we only have a couple of more minutes on here, and then, like I said, I got to get off here and get back to the grindstone, y'all. But it's different than a broken clock being right twice a day, right? It's different than conservatives saying women exist, right? It's a little more interesting than being right about that. It's true. YouTube does it all the time when I get into war and U.S. imperialism. Wow. I see 8 participants. Now 6. Yeah. It goes up and down. Reels have me now, Rad Mom. It's fine. There's cats here. Okay. Oh. I just can't. I don't know. Does anybody else remember? Like this goes back. It's Butterfly. Ooh, his big swallowtail. Anyway, this goes way back to something that scared me as a kid. Does anybody else remember that episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation with like the game? And like everybody became obsessed with this game. It was literally like my worst nightmare from when I was a kid. Oh, and like it's like the one episode of that show that I remember centering on Wesley Crusher, like the kid in the show. And everybody's trying to, like, all the adults around him are obsessed with this game. And I'm just like, oh my God, I don't know. I always think of that creepiness when I see people just scrolling, and they're not doing anything. They're not fucking thinking anything. They hide my messages because I'm right. And so listening to me is dangerous for them and their profits. Yeah. Probably so. Oi. You guys having a little love fest back and forth. That's so cute. That's so damn cute. Mm. There. Coffee's gone. I'm officially done. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just suspicious on a gut level that anything that's addictive or anything says a lady with a cigarette in her hand. I should never started these either, right? And like, I anything that's gonna take up too much of my time, anything that's a black hole that's going to suck up my time. It's like no. Y'all may remember at the beginning of this, I said something about I'm going to have to just get into the groove of making 3 videos a week and it's all about time management. Well, guess what that shit is just torpedo for, like, no. What the fuck? I need another thing that's going to suck up my time and give me nothing back for it? No. No, I don't. The game is how I see the gender feels called. Yeah. Yeah. But in terms of games, I confess, I used to love to play Zelda on N64. Right on. N64 was a good system. They had some good games. I remember, like, GoldenEye is like the one James Bond game I've ever played, and apparently that's a classic. So, yeah, totally. I'm not against them. I just don't get it, which makes one of 1,000 other things I don't get, so it's fine. I just think that too much exposure to that kind of thing, especially on GoldenEye was great. Yeah, right on. Especially early on as your brain is developing, it trains you to see the world that way, and I don't think that that's realistic. Like, obviously. Oh, gosh. It is 2:01. So I'm going to go watch this space. We got the whole backstory of Gonzalo Lira on Friday. And we're going to have a few special guests, to help me elucidate that. In 3 weeks' time, when I hand in my PhD thesis, I'm buying a month subscription to World of Warcraft Classic, and I'm going to veg out for 30 days. You earned whatever kind of vacation you want, man. Absolutely. Yep, N64 was good times. But after that, I couldn't care less about gaming. But yeah, games can definitely take up all your free time. As long as you play games as a form of entertainment and moderation, it isn't bad. Right, yeah. Right. I think that there's a culture surrounding it that encourages basically endless play, though. And that's not great. But on the other hand, I'm not so crazy that I've kept my kids away from them or anything like that. They all love Minecraft. We're a big Minecraft family, And there's been the occasional Fortnite thing here and there, but that one less. So they like the sandbox thing where they can build stuff and all the goofy little animals and all the lore around Minecraft and all that. This has been going on forever. My son is 31 and his friend group lost one of their group in 5th grade because he and his mom became WoW addicted. Wow. Yeah, I knew a guy in college who almost dropped out of college and almost ended up having to drop out because he couldn't stop fucking playing World of Warcraft. Promotes dissociation of body for virtual reality. Yeah. Minecraft is good for imagination. It's like interactive Lego. Yeah. They couldn't get him to leave the house anymore. He just went to school and straight back home to play until we had to go to bed. Wow. It's like alcohol in that way. Some people do seem to be extremely susceptible to that stuff. Oh. Did you guys see that? The butterfly came up and said hello. Oh my god. That's crazy, yet it happens. My 40-year-old roommate plays Minecraft with my 9-year-old grandson. See, that's adorable. That's adorable. It's a tool like anything. It's how you use it. And on that note, I think I should go. You guys have a great one. And I'll see you Friday, okay?